Hello everyone, so I wanted to do some baking today, so I thought I'd turn it into a video and show you all how to make this French blueberry clafoutis. So to make this, you're going to need 200 milliliters of soy milk, 250 grams of fresh blueberries, 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of sugar, 2 egg yolks, and 2 egg whites. So first we need to combine the flour and the sugar. So I did this in a little bowl here and just mixed them together briefly. I'll speed the footage up here because otherwise the video is going to take too long. So next we need to mix the egg yolks and the milk, so just listen to this. I have to leave that in because it makes such a great noise. And then just stir these together until they're nicely combined. And then I've just got to clean up this little mess I made. So next I'm going to add the milk and egg mixture to the flour and sugar in 2 parts. So it's important in this step that we try and get the mixture as smooth as possible, so we don't want any lumps in there. So I'm going to give this a proper good mix in. So now I'm just going to add the second portion in and continue to stir until we get a nice smooth mixture. So we want it to look something like this when we've finished. Now to give the clafoutis some volume, we're going to beat the egg whites until they form stiff peaks. So this takes quite a while, so I'll speed the footage up, but you've just got to really beat it and keep beating until it changes colour and gets really fluffy. So you can see here, this is kind of what we're looking for, and you can see how aggressively I'm beating the mixture. And I'll show you here, just see there the peak, so that's what you're looking for. I'm just going to set the beaten egg whites aside now and prepare the baking dish. So here I've got a 20 centimeter diameter glass baking dish, and we're going to liberally coat it in butter to stop the clafoutis sticking. I'm then going to put this in an oven which has been preheated to 190 degrees for just a few minutes to just gently melt the butter. Here I've just transferred the egg yolk mixture into a bigger bowl and I'm giving it a second whisk just to make sure it's properly smooth. So when it's at this smooth consistency, I'm going to start folding in the egg whites. So it's really important that you take your time over this and do it carefully to try and knock as minimal amount of air out of the egg whites as possible. You want to keep all that air in there so the clafoutis stays nice and fluffy. So I'm doing this in small portions, as you can see, taking my time and folding it really carefully. I use this kind of under, over and through technique, which I find works really well for incorporating all of the egg whites smoothly into the mixture. And this is what you're looking for. So next we're going to start assembling the clafoutis. So I've taken the baking dish out of the oven, and you can see the butter's melted nicely. So I'm just going to spoon on a small amount of the mixture just to cover the bottom of the dish. Just add a little bit more and then spread it out nicely. So on top of this I'm going to start adding the blueberries. So traditionally I think the clafoutis uses cherries. They soak the cherries in kirsch, which is a cherry liqueur, and some sugar to make kind of a syrup. So you could do this with the blueberries as well, maybe 10 grams of sugar to the 250 grams of blueberries. So you just want to keep adding until you've got one even layer of blueberries across the top of the clafoutis, and then on top of that you're going to add more batter, but at this point my camera shut off so I don't have footage for that, but afterwards I basically added more batter to the top to cover the blueberries, added a few more blueberries on top, and then baked it in the oven at 190 degrees for about 20 minutes. So here we have the final product. So about 15 minutes through the cooking I added some tin foil on top of the clafoutis because the top was getting quite brown and I didn't want it to burn, but it hadn't properly cooked through. So about 15 minutes just in the oven on its own and 5 minutes with kind of a tin foil hat, and I got this colour you can see here. It's nicely baked through. So now I'm just adding some icing sugar on top. Took a while because the icing sugar was kind of lumpy, but you can see here I got it sorted and it just makes it look kind of nice. So now I'm just going to cut into it. So it was really, really soft. especially at the top. You'll see in a minute. There's kind of two textures in the clafoutis, which I think I know how to fix. But regardless, it was really, really soft. It cuts quite nicely. As you can see here, the blueberries have kind of cooked a little bit and reduced down, kind of not mushy but syrupy almost. You can see there on the side view. So here's the finished slice. Bring it up to the camera so you can see. Nice and evenly cooked through, golden brown on top. So I'll just take a little slice now. So because it's so soft, you can't exactly pick up on the fork, so I had to kind of shovel it. But it's really like almost like not like a souffle, more set than a souffle, but really, really soft like that because we beat the egg white so much. So you can see here from the side, there's two textures. So the top is kind of quite fluffy and light above where the first layer of blueberries were, and then underneath it's quite set, quite firm, like a really dense panna cotta kind of texture, I guess. I think you can fix this though. If you just use a wider dish, it will cook more evenly and it should all be fluffy like the top layer. So there we are. Thank you all for watching this cooking video. I might make another one in the future. I've got a lot of books, a lot of recipes that I want to go through. So hopefully I'll be able to make another one very soon.